Yo, what is up, YouTube? Vintmaker here, coming at you with another linked battle. This is against a passerby. He challenged me to this battle. I was like, why not? So, I was trying out a new team. Okay. I am well aware that I have a good weakness to ice. A little bit to water. Well, not actually. Water cancels out with Vaporeon. But other than that, yeah, this was actually a pretty good battle. It could have happened faster, but I did some mistakes with my Aegislash. But okay, let's get started. So he leads out with his Infernape, and I lead out with my Vaporeon. I mostly went out with Vaporeon just because I can counter a lot of his stuff. But knowing that his Infernape isn't going to stay in, I'm just going to Scald. Whatever comes in, hopefully I can get a burn. And so I suspected that his Rotom would come in, so maybe I got the burn. That would have worked perfectly. So, alright, I do get the burn. I was lucky on that. So, to see what he's going to do, I am going to protect. And so, this is another way for me to just stall out his team. His Rotom will eventually die. Now, he decides to trick me. Knowing that I know that he is Choice Spect, and I don't want my Vaporeon receiving those. So, I'm going to switch out to my Garchomp, mainly because he is Choice banded. And either way, it doesn't help him or it doesn't help me. So he's the only one that I can actually do anything. Alright. So now his Rotom does not do anything. He is stuck in Trick. And I am going to Earthquake. I know he's going to switch out because he can't do anything else. So he comes out into his Smith, which is his Clefairy. I Earthquake it. So that was an awesome prediction on my part. So quickly taking that out. I always hate teams that use Clefairy because it's Fairy and Steel, and it can totally cripple a team. So now he's forcing me to switch out, but I think he thought that I was gonna switch out into Vaporeon, obviously, or something. And he was gonna Volt Switch out of there. So I'm gonna make him switch back out for my free turn with Donphan. So. This is a good opportunity to get my rocks up. That way, if anything's scarfed, I can quickly get out of the game. So he brings out his Empoleon, fearing that he has a Hydro Pump on it. Obviously, I'm just gonna switch out. So I'm going into Vaporeon. So he doesn't necessarily predict me, but yeah. All right. So. Vaporeon just takes that like a man. I am just going to Scald just to get off more damage. That's his main stab move. I'm not going to use anything other than that, really. So his Rotom is pretty much dead right after my Scald. Rotom and Clefairy were his two walls, so I'm glad those two are out of the game. Now he sends out Ninetales. Now I'm not sure if it's carrying Energy Ball or Solar Beam. So what I'm going to do is I am going to protect. I want to see what he has. So you'll see that I do this a lot on my team just to see what he has. It's a good way to scope out everything. So, and I get my leftovers heal. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to go into my Garchomp. Alright. Unfortunately, he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting me on the switch-in. So Garchomp is burned. I do have Sylveon, which can get rid of the burn, but I just never used him in this battle. Alright, so Solar Beam, I don't suspect that it'll do a lot, mainly because of my Dragon typing. So it did a fair amount, including with the burn, so that's not good. I didn't, for some odd reason, I used Dragon Rush when I really shouldn't have used it, so it didn't really help me at all. I guess I was kind of stupid on that part because I should have predicted that switch-in. So I'm going to switch back into Aegislash. Now this part was just completely bad, mainly because I just could not predict his Mawile. I was predicting a Sucker Punch. I was predicting Play Roughs. I was trying to just lower its attack so I can keep my Aegislash alive. So, yeah, I thought he was going to go for a Sucker Punch to get my attack up, but why not? So I'm going to King Shield. He obviously predicts it. It just goes back and forth between this. I just could not help myself for some odd reason. Eagle Slash does do a fair amount, I will say. So it was to my regret that I didn't use him to his full potential. So all he's gonna do is just rock slide me right here, predicting my King Shield. So I'm just gonna quickly get off some damage with my Shadow Sneak. Now I wasn't sure if I was faster than a Mawile. I know Mawile isn't the fastest thing ever. It's actually pretty slow. But I wasn't sure if Eagle Slash could. My Eagle Slash is adamant, so I'm pretty sure it might have. I'm not too sure. So I was thinking Garchomp could have lived a Sucker Punch, but obviously he didn't. I don't know why. Just because like the ground and dragon sort of, it's a neutral damage and it's on a stab move on Mawile. That was just my reasoning. So I go out into my Donphan, quickly Earthquake him, get him out of there. Comes out with Ninetales. So now I am going to just Ice Shard him to quickly get it, kill Ninetales. Good thing that I put up my rocks earlier, because I knew that it would benefit me later in the game. So that Ninetales is out. Now I was just gonna stay in because if he did have a water move, the sun would cut it down in half. But he keeps on using Ice Beam, so that didn't work out for me too well. But luckily I got my Donphan's health up just a little bit more. I'm going to Earthquake him, and that is out. Now all he has is Infernape. Now I didn't want to take a close combat to the face, so I wanted to switch out into Vaporeon. I was going to try to stall out the sun. This battle turned out to be a 28 turn battle. It could have easily went down to like a 20 turn battle, if not less. So all I'm gonna do is sort of scope out, see if he has a Thunder Punch. Typically Infernape should carry Thunder Punch. So thinking that I'm gonna switch out, he's just gonna Mach Punch. Yeah, it doesn't really work out too well for him. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm pretty sure I would Scald him right here, just to get off some more damage. Unfortunately, it would have been a dead Infernape if it weren't for the sun, so that sun helped him. My wish came true. I ended up living with a lot more health. Good thing, because I don't know if that Thunder Punch would have taken me out or not. But his Infernape is down and out. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thanks. See ya. Bye.